My loving audience take my love and subscribes my channel. And dive B&B stories. Do you ever wonder if Katie Logan is actually the hero in this story? Or is she just a master manipulator using her own niece to settle an old score? I mean, think about it. Is this really about saving Hope's career? Or is it a calculated strike against the entire Forrester dynasty? We've all seen the drama unfolding on The Bold and the Beautiful. But what's happening right now is deeper than just a job change. It is a full-blown family war, and the lines are being drawn in the sand. But before we get into the juicy details of the contract and the secrets, we have to talk about how we even got here. Why is Hope Logan, the face of ethics and social responsibility in fashion, suddenly acting like a corporate spy? The funny thing is, this whole mess started because Hope felt completely invisible. Imagine working your heart out on a brand that broke records and meant something to people, only to be told it's just not a priority anymore. That is exactly what happened to Hope at Forrester Creations. Steffy has been hammering home this idea that the company needs to focus on couture to honor Eric. But let's be real for a second. Is that really about Eric? Or is it just a convenient way for Steffy to sideline her biggest rival? It feels like a classic case of corporate gaslighting. Steffy tells Hope to be patient. But patient is usually just a word people use when they have no intention of ever helping you. And the worst part? Hope's own mother, Brooke, was telling her the exact same thing. Can you imagine how that feels? You're being disrespected at work, and when you turn to your mom for support, she tells you to just sit tight and take it. It's no wonder Hope was in a fashion funk. She was suffering from a total erosion of her self-worth. When you're constantly told your best work isn't doing well, you start to believe you're the problem. This made her the perfect target for someone to swoop in and offer a way out. And that's exactly where Katie Logan comes in. But here's the question. Did Katie do it because she loves Hope? Or because she's still hurting from her own past? Well, think about it. Katie didn't just give Hope a little pep talk. She made a passionate plea for Hope to leave Forrester and join a new venture at Logan. Why? Because Katie saw herself in Hope. Katie spent years living in Brooke's shadow, feeling like the ugly duckling, who always had to follow someone else's lead. When she looks at Hope being pushed around by Steffy, she isn't just seeing a niece in trouble. She's seeing her own trauma being replayed. Katie told Hope it was time to finally step away from Steffy's arrogance. That is a huge statement. She was basically telling Hope that she didn't have to settle for being disrespected anymore. But let's look at the psychological layer here. Is Katie projecting? Maybe. Because Katie has a history of being overlooked. Remember when Bill nearly left her for Steffy years ago? Or how Brooke has always been the center of the Logan universe. By saving Hope, Katie is effectively building her own power base. She's creating a house of Logan that doesn't rely on the Forresters or even Brooke's approval. It's a brilliant tactical move. She used their shared history of being ignored to lure Hope away. It's almost like she was offering Hope a drug called validation, and Hope was starving for it. The situation gets even crazier when you look at how the deal actually went down. Katie wasn't alone in this. She had Bill and Liam right there in her corner, pushing Hope to sign on the dotted line. Liam was even telling Hope that just because Brooke chooses to answer to Steffy, it doesn't mean Hope has to. That's a direct hit to Brooke's parenting, don't you think? It's like the Logan family is splitting into two camps. On one side you have Brooke, who just wants peace and wants everyone to get along with Ridge. On the other side you have Katie and Bill, who are ready to burn the whole thing down to give Hope a win. But here's where things get really messy. Hope signed that contract. She officially committed to Logan. But did she tell anyone? No. She's keeping it a massive secret. Instead of quitting like a professional, she told Brooke she was just taking a leave of absence to figure things out. This is where I start to disagree with Hope's actions. I mean, I get that she's scared, but you can't have one foot in the door at Forrester and the other at Logan. It's a recipe for disaster. Why didn't she just say, "I quit, Steffy, you're arrogant and I'm done"? Instead, she's hiding behind office partitions and dodging questions. It makes her look guilty when she should be feeling empowered. What do you think? Is Hope being smart by keeping her options open? Or is she just being a coward? Some fans think she's dangling a carrot in front of the Forresters, hoping they'll beg her to come back. But others think she's just terrified of her mother's reaction. And honestly, can you blame her? Brooke is so focused on her relationship with Ridge that she's completely missed the fact that her daughter is drowning. Brooke wants peace. But in the soap world, peace is usually just another word for letting the Forresters win. Brooke is essentially siding with her husband over her own child's career. That has to hurt. The funny thing is, the moment Hope took that leave, Steffy suddenly changed her tune. Did you catch that? Suddenly, Steffy is excited to relaunch Hope for the future. She even hugged Hope. Talk about a 180-degree turn. But we know Steffy. Is this a genuine change of heart? Or is it a ruse to get Hope to confess what she's up to? It feels like Steffy smelled blood in the water. She realized that if Hope leaves, she loses the HFTF brand and gains a massive competitor. So now she's playing the nice card. But is it too little too late?
While Hope is spinning in circles of doubt and uncertainty, Bill Spencer is busy playing chess. Bill doesn't care about feelings. He cares about winning. He's already got Wyatt to procure the Hope for the Future diamond. He's planning a massive publicity stunt to make sure the Logan launch destroys Eric's couture comeback. He's using Hope as the face of a corporate war. And Katie is right there with him, setting an urgent launch date to steal Forrester's thunder. They are rushing to the finish line because they know once the secret is out, the Forrester Fury will be unleashed. Think about the psychological pressure on Hope right now. She's committed to a contract with Bill and Katie. She's terrified of Brooke. She's being hugged by a fake nice Steffy. And she's listening to Deke's new designs, which are supposedly amazing. She's basically trapped in a high-stakes game where every move she makes is going to hurt someone she loves. If she goes back to Forrester, she betrays Katie and Bill. If she stays at Logan, she destroys her relationship with Brooke. What would you do in that situation? Is there even a right choice here? I honestly think Katie is being a bit of a mother figure to Hope right now, but in a way that's almost predatory. She knows Hope is vulnerable. She knows Hope feels betrayed by Brooke siding with Rich. So she's offering the one thing Hope can't get at home: total loyalty. But at what cost? Katie is positioning Logan to go head-to-head with Eric Forrester. This isn't just business, it's personal. Brooke is already starting to ask questions about how Logan found a designer so fast. She's going to be outraged when she realizes her own daughter is the one leading the charge against Eric. The tension is just building and building. We have guest stars like Morgan Fairchild coming in as Dottie, who is probably going to be the one to let the cat out of the bag. Can you imagine the scene when Brooke finds out? It's going to be explosive. Brooke thinks everything is fine because Steffy agreed to the relaunch, but she has no idea that the ink is already dry on Hope's new contract. Hope is babbling without context because she's so overwhelmed. She knows the fallout is coming, and she knows it's going to be shocking news that makes serious waves. And let's not forget the younger generation. Will and Elektra are caught in the middle of this too. Will knows the secret, and he's refusing to tell Elektra. He thinks he's being loyal to his mom, Katie, but Elektra is going to feel totally betrayed when she finds out he knew all along. It's like this one secret is a grenade that's going to take out 3 different relationships at once. Is a fashion line really worth all this destruction? Well, if you ask Bill Spencer, the answer is probably yes. He wants Logan to be a powerhouse. He wants to show the Forresters that they don't own the city. And honestly, maybe it's time. The Forresters have been calling the shots for a long time, and they've treated the Logans like second-class citizens in that building for years. Hope has been a damsel in distress for way too long. Maybe joining forces with Katie and Bill is the only way she can finally stand on her own 2 feet. But she has to own her choice. She can't keep acting like a victim of circumstance when she's the one who signed the paper. The big prediction here is that this is going to lead to a permanent rift between Brooke and Katie. We've seen them fight before, but this is different. This is about their children and their legacy. Brooke is going to feel like Katie stole her daughter, and Katie is going to tell Brooke that she only had to step in because Brooke was too busy with Ridge to be a mother. It's going to be raw, physical, and ugly. And I am here for every second of it.
The funny thing is, Hope still seems so unlucky in love and in her career. She's always searching for that one thing that will make her feel complete. First it was Liam, then it was Thomas, now it's this new fashion line. But maybe the problem isn't the job or the man. Maybe the problem is that she's always letting other people, like Katie or Steffy, define her worth. She needs to decide who she is without a contract or a family feud. But until then, she's just a pawn in Bill and Katie's grand plan. Will Hope's secret contract destroy her relationship with Brooke? That is exactly where Hope Logan is right now. She has this massive secret, a signed contract that could change everything, and it feels like a ticking time bomb. But the real question isn't just about fashion or business. It is about her heart. Is this secret contract going to destroy the one relationship she has always tried to protect? Is Hope finally finding her own voice? Or is she about to lose her mother forever? Let's be real for a second. The situation at Forrester Creations has been a total mess. For months, Hope has been told to just be patient. She has heard it from Steffy, and she has even heard it from her own mother, Brooke. They keep saying they need to focus on couture to honor Eric. But think about how that feels. You build a brand like Hope for the Future that breaks records and stands for something real, and then people just shove it into a corner. It is a classic case of feeling undervalued. Hope was in a fashion funk, and honestly, who can blame her? She was being treated like a secondary character in her own life. But then Katie Logan steps in. This is where things get really interesting. Katie didn't just offer her a job. She made this incredibly passionate plea. She told Hope it was time to step away from Steffy's arrogance. And why did she do it? Because Katie sees herself in Hope. She knows exactly what it feels like to live in someone else's shadow. She spent years being the ugly duckling compared to Brooke. So when she looks at Hope being disrespected by the Forresters, she isn't just seeing a struggling niece. She is seeing her own past. It is a powerful emotional hook, right? Katie is basically telling Hope, I will value you when nobody else will. The funny thing is, Hope actually took the bait. She signed that contract with Bill and Katie. But here is the catch. She didn't tell her mom. Instead of being upfront, she told Brooke she was just taking a leave of absence. Can you imagine the pressure of that lie? Hope is literally hiding behind office partitions at Forrester whenever someone walks by. She is terrified. She is worried that her mother will feel betrayed and just turn her back on her. And the sources are pretty clear about this. Hope is terrified of Brooke's reaction. Now why did she lie? This is the part that gets me. Psychologically, Hope is a damsel in distress, who has always tried to take the high road. But the high road hasn't worked for her. She feels abandoned by Brooke. Brooke is so focused on making Rich happy and keeping the peace at Forrester that she basically ignored her daughter's professional needs. When Hope looks at Brooke, she sees a mother who chose her husband over her child. That is a deep, painful wound. So Hope decided to create her own independence, but she's doing it in the most secretive way possible. I have to wonder, is Brooke being a bit of a narcissist here? Some fans online think so. They think Brooke only cares about her own comfort. If Hope stays at Forrester, Brooke doesn't have to deal with any family drama at home with Ridge. But the moment Hope leaves, it becomes a war. And Brooke hates war because it forces her to pick a side. Right now, Brooke is relieved and happy because she thinks the leave of absence is just a temporary thing. She thinks they'll be working together again soon. She has no idea that the ink is already dry on a deal with the competition. And let's talk about that competition. Bill Spencer is playing a very dangerous game. He has this whole strategy involving the Hope for the Future diamond. He wants to use it as a publicity stunt to seal the deal for the Logan launch. And Katie is right there with him. They are rushing to get Hope's collection out as fast as they can. Why the rush? Because they want to steal Forrester's thunder. They want to launch before Eric's couture line. This is a direct strike at the heart of the Forrester family. Brooke views Eric's comeback as something sacred. It's a major moment for the man who has been a father figure to her for decades. So when she finds out that her own daughter is the one trying to ruin that moment, the sense of betrayal is going to be immense. It's not just a business move. It's a personal attack on the legacy Brooke holds dear. Katie is basically weaponizing Hope's talent to settle an old score with the Forresters, and Hope is caught right in the middle of it. Wait, think about Steffy for a second. Suddenly, Steffy is acting all nice. She surprised everyone by agreeing to greenlight Hope for the Future again. She even hugged Hope. But is it real? Or is it just a ruse to get Hope to confess? The timing is so suspicious. She only offered the relaunch after Hope announced her leave. It feels like Steffy realized that losing Hope would be a massive blow to the company, so she's trying to manipulate her into staying. But the problem is it's too late. Hope has already committed to Logan. This creates such an awkward situation. Imagine being Hope, and Steffy is suddenly being kind and offering you everything you wanted, but you've already signed a secret contract with her biggest rival. Hope was babbling without context when she saw the Logan team because she was so overwhelmed. She's trapped. If she goes back on the Logan contract, she betrays Katie and Bill. If she stays at Logan, she destroys her bond with Brooke. It is a total lose-lose scenario for her heart, even if it's a win for her career. The psychological layers here are just fascinating. Hope is a grown woman in her 30s. Some people on Reddit are saying she needs to own her choice and stop acting like a victim. They say she has a fully developed frontal lobe and should have just quit like a professional. I kind of agree with that. If she had walked into Steffy's office and said, "I'm done, I'm going to work with my family," it would have been a power move. But by lying to Brooke, she's making herself look like she's done something wrong. She's giving Brooke a reason to be angry. And then there is Katie. Is Katie being a mother figure? Or is she being predatory? She's definitely using Hope's emotions to her advantage. She told Hope that she didn't want her to go through what she experienced. She's framing the move as a way to find respect. But at the same time, she's pushing for an urgent launch date. She's not giving Hope time to process the emotional fallout with Brooke. She wants the win and she wants it now. It feels like Katie is finally standing up for herself, but she's using Hope as her shield. What about the fallout for the rest of the family? We've got guest stars like Morgan Fairchild coming back as Dottie. She's an extravagant socialite who has a sharp eye for luxury. It's been teased that she might be the one to reveal that Logan is hosting a competing launch. Can you imagine Brooke's face when she hears that news from a total stranger? She's going to go straight to Katie and demand answers. She's going to want to know how they found a designer so fast. And when she realizes it's Hope, that is the moment the bomb goes off. The conflict isn't just going to be between Brooke and Hope. It's going to wreck Will and Elektra too. Elektra has been begging Will to tell her who the mystery designer is. Will promised his mom he would keep it a secret, and he's sticking to it. But Elektra is going to feel so betrayed. She's going to wonder why he didn't trust her. It's like this one secret is a poison that is spreading through the entire Logan and Spencer family tree. Was it really worth it? Was a fashion line worth all this collateral damage? I honestly think we are about to see a version of Brooke that we haven't seen in a long time. She is going to feel blindsided. She has been defending the Forresters and trying to keep Hope in line, thinking she was doing the right thing. When she realizes her daughter was lying to her face while signing a deal with Bill Spencer, she is going to be devastated. Brooke hates Bill's tactics. She knows he's a shark. Seeing Hope join forces with him is going to feel like a personal rejection of everything Brooke stands for. Is Hope really unlucky in love and in her career? Or does she just make bad decisions? She seems to constantly jump from one person to another, looking for validation. First it was Liam, then Thomas, now it's this Logan venture. She's always looking for someone to see her. Katie gave her that validation, but was it a fair trade for her relationship with her mother? Donna Logan has already warned that the damage could be forever. And when Donna says something like that, you know it's serious. She's usually the one trying to keep everyone happy. So what do you think? Is Hope making the biggest mistake of her life by joining Logan? Or is this the independence she's been waiting for? And more importantly, whose side are you on? Are you Team Katie, who wants to see Hope flourish at any cost? Or are you Team Brooke, who thinks family peace should come first?
Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I want to know if you think Steffy is actually being sincere, or if she's just playing a game to save her company. This drama is just getting started, and you know I'll be here to break down every single secret and betrayal as it happens. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the Logan versus Forrester war, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We've got so much more bold and the beautiful commentary coming your way, and you definitely don't want to miss the fallout from the big Logan launch. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.